I wanted to approach it like a video game. And that was the difference for me between watching traditional TV and adolescence.
I think the biggest challenge with the show, from the edit through to the mix, was just to make sure that the audience all the time felt in a real, immersive audio environment. Does this feel real? Nothing in there could bring you out of the story, because if it did, it would ruin the illusion and ruin the one-take aspect of it.
The floors in the police station, they were quite a big deal, weren't they? They made the edit really difficult. Generally, I don't mind some noise on the booms, like the odd bump, or, because for me it makes things authentic and real. But for adolescence, we really needed the flexibility of pristine dialogue so that we could pan it around as much as we did do.
Yeah, so some of the essays had pads on their shoes, and it was just really getting in, cutting as tight as we could to the dialogue, and then automating the reverb to smooth the tails wherever we could. It was challenging, but I think it's also fun. Like when you have one of those scenes that you get and go, it sounds like a ship in a storm, and then get it out the other end in a few weeks and you go, sounds really nice. It sounds like it's supposed to. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. Yeah, I was on location for episode 1 and episode 2. Part of it was to record the essays and the kids while they were there, and while they were the real kids, the real people in those locations. Record ambiences and atmospheres and doors and dogs barking and all of that. And then also to work with Rob and Kiff, the production sound mixers, and to be able to just provide real-time feedback, to be able to say, I know you're worried about this, but don't be worried about that. Let's be worried about this instead. Well, the alarm in episode 2 that goes off was actually something that I made like a 3 kilohertz tone that they could just play on set. So when the fire alarm went off, we didn't actually set the fire alarm off or have like a fire alarm sound effect. And the music in the van in episode 4 is just, I just did a little bit of EQ to the original recording. So that was live. So when they're in the van, that's 30–40% the actual take on me from the van, and then we're just using like a stereo just to fill it out and smooth the joins. Originally, when we spoke to Phil about the project, the idea was that it would all be diegetic, real sound, that there wouldn't be score, or probably wouldn't be score, and that everything would be played as real as possible. And during the time that we were shooting episode 2, we went back to episode 1 and did a first iteration of the van scene. And that was kind of the first moment that we experimented with the sound changing and becoming non-diegetic and being in a character's head. And then it opened everything up, because I think Phil and the producers all saw what it could be, and that we could be perhaps more creative with sound at certain points, being more in characters' heads. But then also in moments, like in the nurse's room with Jamie's strip search, is that we went in completely the opposite direction, and you just have Eddie's breath. So Raoul Brand worked with me on episodes 2 and 4. He's got an amazing library, just really natural sounds of like the kids playing. And then of course, Soundly helped on Adolescence just with the day-to-day kind of management and finding and searching for sounds in our own libraries. And then when needed, dipping into the Soundly library and finding little extras that we needed along the way.